Guys, the elderflower season is starting, one of my favorite times of the year, because these flowers are so fragrant and so yummy. We add them to many sweet recipes, and this is the biggest corner of elderflowers, or the plants are elderberries, but now we are concentrating on the flowers. We didn't plant these ones, they just grew here on their own. So there was nothing when we bought the property, or maybe the roots were already there and the previous owners cut them down completely, the shrubs, but now they are totally back and so big. So those ones have grown over 6 years since we bought the property, but we always film there. We have to start using also these ones, for example, again part of our natural wild hedge, mixed one with various shrubs, and here we have an elderflower section, elderberry section.
Also a big one.
Yeah, we planted these ones, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, so it's great. They are also kinda like weeds. People also don't have them in their gardens, so elderberries often grow in the countryside on their own, but we want them here, so we don't have to go for walks and harvest flowers and berries there, but I can do it here, and that's great when you have huge amounts at home.
How many do we need today?
Today I will take 10 to 15, and I'm going to make elderflower cookies. Those ones are totally my favorite ones. They are so yummy and everything.
So it looks like you have more flowers than you need just here in this one spot.
Yes, but there are aphids on some of them, so I need to search for pretty ones.
We don't like aphid flavor.
Yeah. Here you can see the aphids. This is not a flower, but they also appear on flowers, and they come in huge amounts. It's like they cover a big part of the stem. It's not nice, but they are part of the ecosystem here in the garden, and ladybugs like them, eat them, so yeah, and elderberries are very strong, so it's okay here.
And I remember reading that these are different kinds of aphids that only eat elderberries specifically. So they attract ladybugs to your garden, but at the same time these aphids will not destroy your fruit trees.
Okay, so yeah, that's great. It's very fascinating how nature works when you think about it sometimes.
Our Colquitzia, aka beauty bush, is now in full bloom. It has grown a lot since we planted it maybe 3 years ago, and it has probably thousands of blossoms. They are white pinkish, so yeah, very pretty.
It is totally a beauty bush, right? The name is very on point.
And it's growing a lot as well, which we like. We like big bushes.
Yeah. This one, like, it's always great to see something that doesn't struggle here. Wow, very beautiful.
We have a lot of different irises. These are the most interesting looking ones probably, because they have 3 different colors, purple, white and yellow. And there's a lot of them, but only some of them are flowering at the moment. Maybe the others will come a little bit later, or maybe they are just growing stronger at the moment.
Yeah. And the irises are always very quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here, wow, one is flowering, and the next day that one is over, but new ones are popping up. So
when we saw that so many are flowering at the same time, we had to run here to film them.
Exactly.
Before it's too late.
Exactly. So here I have 15 elderflowers, And now I have to remove, come here, come closer, the little individual flowers. So these flowers, because we don't want the bigger stems in the cookies. I know you guys have been suggesting that I should use a fork for this and it would be faster. And I was trying in the past and I figured this is better for me. This is easier because the fork was also tearing the medium stems that I don't want. So this is easier and yeah, it's nice here in the shade, so it's okay and I can relax by doing this. So that's okay. So this will take a while, but not too much. And then I will make the cookies and the best part will be eating them. We are looking forward to that, right? Are you looking forward to it too?
I don't care about food. I'm not hungry, so I don't think about food.
My honeybee, he's not like the rest of the world, the rest of us guys, because almost everyone loves food, but Tommy is indifferent to food. He always says that it's just food.
Yeah. I like eating when I'm hungry, so I wouldn't be hungry.
Yeah, but I like weird guys, so I have here at home what I like. That's nice.
The biggest weirdo.
Ta-da! One full bowl. That's what we need. Making the dough for the cookies is very easy. I already showed you the recipe last year, I think. But basically, here I have wet ingredients, 115 grams of softened butter, 100 grams of brown sugar and 1 egg. And here I have dry ingredients, 90 grams of oats, 120 grams of whole grain flour. I'm using whole grain spelt flour. And then half a teaspoon of baking powder and quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And now I'm just going to add the dry ingredients here to the wet ones and mix everything. And the last thing to add will be these yummy elderflowers. They are full of pollen now, so my fingers were quite yellow after working with them, and that's where the scent is and everything. So we will just create the dough from this. It looks very full of flowers, but that's okay. You don't have to be worried. It will create a very nice dough. You just have to work the ingredients together so they blend. And now when the cookie dough is here, ready to be used, I will do this with my hands. So I just create these small balls and put them here on the parchment paper. So here I have 18 cookies. The oven is preheated, 175 degrees Celsius, and we will bake this for 15 minutes approximately, so quite a short time. Okay, so here we are. Everyone has 9 cookies, which is a nice number. And here I also made this flavored water. I added a lot of elderflowers and lemon balm. without sugar, it's just water with a bit of flavor.
It's a nice flavor actually.
Yeah.
Still better than just water.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not what you would expect when you are used to sweet drinks. So you can also make a syrup out of elderflowers, and I wanted to try that, but then I saw the recipe and the amount of sugar, it's very high, so I was like, we don't want so much added sugar. That's quite unhealthy. And yeah, it's basically just elderflowers in water. You get the flavor from the flowers, then you remove them and you add a lot of sugar and you have elderflower syrup. So we don't want that. And I also have a chicory coffee here. I got that from my mom. She didn't make it. That would be a nightmare. You can like somehow make it from the roots of chicories. I can't even imagine how you remove the soil and clean them and like everything. That sounds very complicated.
Like carrots.
No, it would be more complicated. I am imagining like soil in between the roots and everything. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is store-bought, but I like it. Very, very nice. And yeah, look at my colorful honeybee.
What else do we have here?
What else?
We got this nice pillow. It was made by my mom. It has two sides. It looks like she likes weather, just like Peter.
Weather?
Yeah, rainbow.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say that it's very funky and very gay, which is very nice.
Yeah. So thank you, Mom.
Yeah, thank you, moms, from everything. And let's dig in. I wanted to babble so the cookies have time to cool down because they were very hot, fresh from the oven, but now the temperature seems nice.
So enough of stalling.
Oh my god. Yes. So we have this only during the elderflower season, of course. So we waited almost the whole year, and I will make this more times in the coming week or 2 weeks. And
Tastes just like food.
That's my honeybee. Yeah. But like, it's better than neutral, right?
Yeah, it's delicious. It's sweet. I mean, it's cookies. Who wouldn't like cookies?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. I'm always saying that it's easy to bake with sugar because everything with sugar is very nice, but these ones are actually healthier because there are oats and whole grain flour, so it's better than common cookies. And I know some of you are not used to eating flowers, Liliana, but these elderflowers, they are so yummy. And it's quite traditional here in the Czech Republic. It's very normal to have elderflower drinks.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah, mainly the drinks. But
Just drinks.
Just drinks, not these cookies.
No.
Okay, but elderflower flavor is very known, and the scent mainly. Yeah, you can buy store-bought drinks made from elderflowers.
That's true.
But make these cookies, guys. If you have elderflowers, elderberries growing somewhere in the vicinity of you, I recommend so much.
And our begonias are starting as well, creating flowers.
Wow!
And they're also edible. They taste like lemon.
Yay! Okay, we are not going to add them because they are just starting and they are very small. But yeah.
I planted pumpkins today. Here we have 4 Hokkaido pumpkins, which we like. And here I planted 6 butternut squashes. They seem to be a little bit shocked from the transplantation. I watered them as well, so now I'm waiting for them to wake up because they are quite wilted.
Yeah, but that's normal, right? Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I
We'll see.
remember this happens when you transplant them here, and it's also very sunny and warm, but yeah, they are watered and they will totally be okay. They are often wilted in summer. I remember, like, the leaves hang down, and that's like they are protecting themselves, so the evaporation or transpiration through the leaves is not that strong, you know, and yeah, that's okay, that's what they do. I'm a total expert.
Yes. We have also water irises in our pond, and the first of them is now flowering as well in yellow. It's like the basic one.
Yeah. And there will be more?
Well, let's hope so. There are a lot of irises here. They spread very easily. They even walk out of their pots and they just started growing somewhere out of the water without soil.
Okay,
So-
that's very nice.
They are spreading.
We don't mind it, as far as the pond is not totally overgrown with them, which it's not right now. Maybe in the future we'll be complaining how they are spreading too much.
But probably not because the middle is deeper. So I don't think they would like that.
Yeah.
That's the water lily's domain.
That's true. Look at this beautiful clematis. I planted this one here. This one is not from the store, but it was growing in front of our house, and I was like, that's not useful to us because we don't go there every day. It's in the street. And I was like, we need to transplant this to the garden. And now it's here. And finally, it's stronger. There are quite a lot of flowers, and we want it to crawl here over this. Here we have a second one, and this one is crawling more, but it's also like later because there are only these buds, so it will flower a bit later. And yeah, in the future this should be absolutely beautiful, or at least that's the vision. And yeah, should be very nice.
Just a couple of years more.
Yeah. We need to be patient. Of course, the garden is all about patience.
Our corner with lupins is becoming alive now. They are starting to flower. There are more flowers getting ready. Here. And I also noticed when I was cleaning this space that it's also spreading a little bit. So there are new flowers, new plants growing in between. So it could look richer and thicker later.
Okay, so we are waiting for that this year or sometime in the distant future.
We'll see.
Okay.
We keep saying how we like to have different kinds of plants, different kinds of shrubs in our hedge. So here we have one Carpathian lilac. It looks a little bit different than the usual one, and there's a butterfly. And it smells like normal lilacs. Very intense, nice smell.
And yeah, here is the butterfly. So butterflies like it here as well.
Yeah, you can see it's the kind of like deep flowers that you need, that thing.
Long tongue or something, what they have, sucker?
I don't know, a trunk.
Okay.
The peony season is starting as well. This one is now in full bloom, and it has a lot of blooms, which is great. They are heavy, so you know, peonies always do this. I think we even put support here.
Yeah.
But it's a small one.
They don't want to be there.
Yeah. But it's very, very beautiful. And here's a second one. You can see it's a different color.
Yeah. Wow.
So very pretty.
Very, very pretty. I love them. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
They are kind of hidden here in this corner. We are like, how can I show you? There is our garden.
Yeah, they are completely in the corner where we don't go very often. But these were planted by the previous owners. So when we moved in, it was already here. And I know that peonies don't like when you transplant them. So we just planted new ones elsewhere.
Yeah. But we kind of like cleaned this corner a bit, so they are not totally in the weeds and grass and everything. So it's nice here. And you are very nice there in your colorful tank top or whatever that is.
It's made for the flowering season.
Exactly. You are my flower, one of my favorites. Together with the peonies. And the wild roses are also flowering, which is great. The flowers are quite pretty. And later there will be rose hips in autumn and winter and everything. Wild roses, or they are called dog rose bushes. They are very strong. They grow very fast. I think the fastest of everything we have. They live here everywhere in the countryside. People hate them. People normally don't have them in gardens. That's just us, because our garden is very, very big and wild, natural. So we are creating more like nature. It's still a garden, but natural garden. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that for us it's great that they are so big, because here we are. This is our natural hedge, this part, and they are very, very big. So that's great. That's what we want. Here I planted a silver maple. Guys, you might know it because it's native to the eastern part of the United States. I was reading on the internet, so some of you are probably from there. It's not native here. And the comments about it are quite controversial because many people hate them. I was reading that they were quite common in the past, planted in the towns along roads and streets, and then they started like damaging the pavement or the foundation of houses and water pipes and I don't know what. That's what I was reading on the internet.
So that's why we bought it.
We don't know anything about it, but here, like, it's planted far from everything. No things to be damaged here. There are no houses, no buildings, nothing. And I wanted it because it should grow very, very fast. And I want to have big trees here. I don't want just grass, like I want trees. So this should be fast. The wood is a little bit brittle, I was reading, so there could be damage by thunderstorms or strong winds, but we'll see. So I just want to see how fast it grows, and it should be okay here in our big garden, not close to anything very important which it could damage.
Our blackberries are now blooming a lot, which is great. We love blackberries in the summer. There were a lot of old dead shoots here. They went like up to here, I think. But when Peter's mom was here, she helped us clean it up. And so now it's suddenly so much bigger, this space.
Yeah, they were dry, or many of them were dry already, so you have to cut them from time to time.
And you see new ones already growing, so soon they will be like this again.
Hopefully we can see it. It's in the shade now. It's so sunny that I don't see almost anything on the display of the camera because, yeah, it's very bright outside today.
Yeah. We need to protect ourselves.
Yeah, it's so practical.
La la la, la la la.
Now you can see green. because that's green color over your eyes.
Yes, the world is green.
Greener than even in reality.